Thank you all for joining us this evening for the third exciting installment of the Lodge 2 interview series. Joining me this evening is Brother Secretary Jonathan Teysko of Lodge 2, who's going to be joining us, speaking to us about his experiences in Freemasonry in general, and more importantly, his experience in Lodge 2 in particular. So thank you for joining us this evening, John.
Thanks for having me.
So I guess my first question is, what brought you to Freemasonry in general? Because my understanding is that this is not your first lodge, and would you like to speak a little bit to your experience, how you got initiated into the craft, and also kind of your Masonic journey through the different lodges you visited?
Absolutely. So I became interested in Freemasonry just over time, hearing about it and seeing things, and also like symbols sort of drew me to be curious. And then it turned out that my best friend from high school, who we lost contact for 15, 20 years, we came back together, and he was a Freemason, and he was telling me about the good things he does with his lodge. And then I also learned that another friend I had been friends with for 10 years, he mentioned offhand, "Oh, I'm a Freemason," and I really respect those guys, and it made me think more about becoming a member. And my one best friend, encouraged me and said that he would recommend that I join. And I was living in Spain when I decided to join. I looked online. There was a lot of lodges, but I really am drawn to lodges with a strong online presence because I've spent so much of my life living over the internet. It makes a difference to me to be able to connect with my lodge by means other than just physical proximity. And I was initiated into El Dorado Lodge number 156 in the south of Spain, Fuengirola. It was a really incredible experience. We had, I believe, 14 nationalities represented in our lodge at the time I was a member. And it was a really great group of guys to be a part of. And when I moved back to America, I knew I needed to find a lodge as soon as I could.
How did you find that lodge in particular, the El Dorado Lodge? Were those friends from that lodge originally?
No, so it was, I found my mother lodge in Spain just over the internet, basically. I did a lot of searching. I lived in a very rural town, which had no lodges, English or Spanish. And when I sent various emails to people and to the regional district deputy grand master equivalent, I didn't get a lot of response, but my lodge, I got an immediate response. I got an enthusiastic response, and one of the things that really drew me to that lodge in particular, not only the contact, was their emphasis on the esoteric side of Freemasonry. So it wasn't just gathering and being a part of each other's lives, which is something I really love, but also learning more, going out and searching and finding answers to questions that humans have had for a long time.
So was it more of like a historical or philosophical oriented lodge, or more of like the ritual and kind of like the, I guess more of the, you say esoteric, but I guess more of like the mysterious and mystical sides of Freemasonry that people tend to gravitate to?
So we were very heavy on ritual because we were in Spain, and the Grand Lodge of Spain is very heavy on rituals. So the opening of a lodge took about 40 minutes because of all the pomp and circumstance that went on. This happened every lodge meeting. To close the lodge was maybe 20 minutes if you went quickly. And then the actual degree work was immense. But our focus wasn't so much on the ritual as it was about brothers learning more about themselves, learning more about the craft, and also learning more about the arts. So people in my lodge, in order to get your next degree, you would make presentations to the lodge about various topics. Whatever spoke to you, I did a report on what the working tools of the Entered Apprentice meant to me and how I applied it to my life. And these kind of papers that we would write was really cement the kind of changes that I was going through as I was going deeper into my Freemason journey. And it was a really great experience.
So they would have you get up in front of the group and present the paper?
Absolutely, yeah. We would get up in front of everyone. If the worshipful master was feeling generous, you could drop the sign. Otherwise, you would need to hold it the entire time you made your speech.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was really good hearing all the different brothers speak and everyone getting a chance to speak in front of the group. Some made presentations on math, and other people on, what kind of things they were going through, or about philosophical questions. It was a really neat experience.
Nice. I mean, that seems like it's certainly a different approach, I guess, say, to some other lodges, not only in Europe, but I guess in the US. And so I guess it brings me to my next question, as far as what brought you to Lodge 2 over in Philadelphia?
So when I came to America, already having been made a Mason, I had the opportunity to visit various lodges that I was considering. And I knew as soon as I visited Lodge 2 that it was my lodge. I mean, just the guys, right here I'm looking at two of my brothers, and I remember the email I got from you, Ariel, a couple years now, and it just felt right. All the guys are just a really great group of guys. I mean, I've never met a bad Freemason yet, but something really clicked with the group we have here in Lodge 2. Our various nationalities, our various backgrounds, our various ages. We're not just a homogenous group. And I also really love the energy of our lodge. I can feel the excitement. It doesn't feel like a chore to the people there. It seems like something that they really care about and are really passionate about. And that fires me up. And I also can't say enough about our Grand Lodge. The idea that they let me come in here and walk around, I feel just an overwhelming sense of honor being entrusted to be a steward of this incredible building and all the history here. And also the history of the lodge is something that means a lot to me. The idea that I get to be a part of and contribute to one of the oldest groups that exists in the United States of America, never mind Freemasonry, just anything. It's incredible. I feel incredibly honored, and I get to be the secretary, which is just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things also that's appealing about, I guess, the craft in general too, is that, especially in an organization that's as historic as this one, is that because the tradition has been passed down from generation to generation, you're basically performing ritual and sacred rites and passages that people hundreds of years ago did as well, some of whom were famous, like Commodore Barry from Lodge 2, or George Washington from the Alexandria Lodge down in Virginia. So yeah, it's definitely, history is a huge factor of who we are, but we're also trying to do things in the present as well. And so I think like philanthropy is another element of stuff that we do here in the fraternity.
Yeah, I wanted to speak on that a tiny bit about the philanthropy here at Lodge 2 that also enlivens me. In my lodge in Spain, we did do charitable acts, but they were mostly, also granted this was during the pandemic, so there weren't as many opportunities to go out and get into the public. But even when we could, it was mostly a fundraising activity or fundraising to buy food to deliver to people, which is a great thing. But what I love about the things we do here at Lodge 2 is the hands-onness of it, the meeting the people that we get to serve and really making a personal difference, putting smiles on people's faces. food in people's bellies and clothes on their back. It's a really great thing that I love about our lodge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing also that we appreciate about having you in our lodge too is, I mean, you served as secretary in Spain, and then when I received your email, I was very excited because I knew that you really wanted to invest time, energy, and time, talent, and treasure in the lodge because you had served as secretary in your prior lodge, and I'm like, he really knows what he's signing up for if he was secretary
Yeah, yeah.
in another lodge in another country.
I'm a glutton
So we're
for
like, we need to
punishment.
bring
Yeah.
this guy on because he's definitely got a lot of valuable skills, and we're happy that we did because it was because now you're our secretary.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
um,
And it's just such a great thing to be able, part of what I love about Freemasonry is the idea that I get to invest myself in an organization and a fraternal organization that makes a difference and also other people are putting themselves into as well. It's just to me, such a worthwhile thing to spend my energy and time on.
mhm. So in your time, how long have you been a member in general, and then also in our lodge in particular?
So I'm coming up on celebrating my 5th year in
Hmm.
Freemasonry, and I've been a member of Lodge 2 now for over a year and a half,
Okay.
officially.
Hmm.
And it feels like longer because I have such a connection
Hmm.
with my lodge, with this building, with my brothers.
Hmm.
It's Yeah, time sort of stretches out a little around
Hmm.
here.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is we have a really good mentorship program here. So when you first joined too, we had I think a pretty robust onboarding process where in addition to getting in touch with me, you also, I guess, coordinated with Steve Long as well because you and
Hmm.
took over for him the secretary role. And I'm sure, like, along with the other brethren that you've encountered here, had a great opportunity to, socialize, network, and also mentor. It wasn't like this was thrust upon you.
No, one of the things that I've loved, that I've come to find out about Lodge 2 as I've been a member, is the wide range of knowledge that the members have. And going along with our sort of diversity is our diversity of interest in the craft. And so there are people that have answers to all sorts of questions. You know, this brother might not have the answer, but he knows who does. And I've felt supported in all my questions, be it from secretary duties or ritual questions, or just questions about what Freemasonry is like, questions about life, all sorts of things I've gotten answers to, and really had eye-opening and heart-expanding conversations with my brothers.
Hmm. And I guess also the other thing too is, especially since we are in the city and we do have that diversity from people of different backgrounds, races, creeds, religions, and lived experiences, a lot of the people that you're going to encounter here, you may not have encountered, say, in any other forum in your life. So,
Yeah, absolutely. It's we're like a grab bag.
yes. Um, so I guess another question that I have is regarding your experience as um, here versus, say, like when you visit other lodges. Have you visited other lodges since moving back to Pennsylvania or into other states or?
So yes, I've had the opportunity to visit various lodges. I actually live a couple hours west of here in
Hmm.
Lancaster,
Hmm.
and visited quite a few lodges in that area, and
Hmm.
also a little bit around the state. And while I love all my visits,
Hmm.
every time I think how perfect Lodge 2 is for me.
Hmm.
And it really, makes me happy, like this, the fortification of how much I know we are a match.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's no one like my brothers here.
Well, you appreciate that. And also, I mean, you've been really active too in some of the activities that we did. One thing that comes to mind too was when we went down as a as a group to Arlington to lay the wreath, and that was certainly a very powerful moment for me personally, but I imagine for everyone who was there in attendance as well. Had you ever been to Arlington?
So I had been to Arlington with my parents 35 years ago or so. It was a very, I remember my dad, he's a veteran, and he couldn't bring himself to go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. It was just too hard for him. And he's since passed. And when we went, it was such a moment for me to be able to be part of something to honor veterans and to honor people that clearly meant so much to my dad. And also the opportunity to bring my family along with us. I brought my wife and my daughter, and for her to see the importance of this kind of thing and what it means to people. And also she got to be a part of it. She was recording with her phone, doing a little live stream for us. And it's just such a great thing to feel so welcomed, to my family feeling so welcomed to things, and just the opportunity to give back. It's such a blessing.
And you'll be happy to know too that because of your daughter's live streaming, now in addition to Lodge 2 visiting Arlington again this year, which we're hoping to make an annual tradition, her live stream actually prompted the Grand Lodge to do their own visit.
Oh, that's
of course.
Great. Yeah.
I think they're planning on doing it in July or possibly on July 4th. But so she helped perpetuate a trend and got the Grand Lodge to participate in a Lodge 2 event that we're hoping to continue for many years to come.
Oh, great.
So. Yeah, so with that, thank you, Jonathan Teysko, for meeting with us today and giving us your perspective on Freemasonry in general and your experience in Lodge 2 in particular. And thank you all for joining us this evening, and we look forward to having you join us next time.